Hey everyone out there on YouTube land, this is Roy Carter. Just been a, jeez, don't even know how many months it's been uploaded to YouTube, but considering how fascist everything's been getting with the censorship, I mean, what's really the point when you think about it? I mean, I've only got like a few dozen subscribers at best, and never really like thought I'd make any money or any kind of monetization or future really doing this stuff. This is just kind of me just throw my opinion out there in the wild, wild web. But tonight I was watching the Oscar coverage. I guess Louder with Crowder. It's a pretty funny channel. I got the awesome hat here that I've been triggering liberals up here in Canada that don't have any fucking clue of reality whatsoever. And it's been a lot of fun. But tonight I wanted to partake in the drinking game that they have. I think I've done about 2 or 3 Oscar coverages before where they've never had any issues with, or at least I don't think they've had issues to the extent that they had today. And it was kind of interesting because the first I think it's 10 to 15 minutes of the coverage, because it started around about 8 o'clock my time, Eastern Standard, and it was kind of funny how at first everything was kind of like they showed a little bit of the coverage of the Oscars, but I was actually kind of thinking, like, how, wow, they're not even really covering it as much as because, I mean, if you're playing a drinking game, you're going to be, like, following along every person's acceptance awards to find out if they're saying the thing, but they were kind of more, like, doing their own thing. They had some segments lined up. They did their Walter sponsored segment where they do the 7 jokes and 1 in the chamber, I think. Yeah, anyways. But, yeah, it was interesting because I was watching, and at first, I noticed that the feed was cutting out. It was having some YouTube player issues, which is usually the bullshit that they do when YouTube is fucking being censorious. You know, they got somebody in their fucking YouTube headquarters just sitting on with their finger on the button. Oh, we can't say that. Oh, did he say? Can we ban him for that, folks? Can boss? He said something about the Me Too thing. The new sound guy. Can we do it? Can we ban him now? Can he? That's pretty much what it fucking came down to, and it looked like for me, because I started noticing that there's a whole bunch of fucking problems with the video playing at first, and I kept having to reload it, and then sure enough, 20 minutes into it, even though they weren't even really doing a whole lot, after the Clint Howard interview, and then they did their 7 and 1 in the chamber segment, because the person that was on the stage trying to accept the awards sounded really fucking awkward and creepy, and there's a bunch of fucking weird fucking sex and pedophile shit that goes on in Hollywood, but nobody ever fucking, wants to talk about it. And it just goes to show you, when they have all these people out there on these award shows trying to accept awards for stuff that they've done, aside from a couple of them, they sound like they're really fucking weird fucking people that, when you see them on stage trying to act normal, they completely seem like they're like the least fucking normal people you could possibly fucking think of. And of course they're gonna censor, Crowder. I mean, as soon as he didn't play games with Glenn Beck, he's still kind of part of the Blaze because of the whole, I guess sponsorship deal that he has there, or at least that's what he says. It was kind of interesting because sure enough, I'm like 15 minutes in, I'm ready to get a good drink on, and bam, they cut the feed. Oh, copyright strike from Disney. Of course it's from Disney because, they're fucking evil. It's funny how Disney, what was it, like way back in the day, supported fucking fascism and Nazi fucking regimes, and it seems like they just kind of picked up the mantle here in 2019 on the left side of the issues. So I just, it was so annoying because sure enough, the feed cuts. I'm like, yep. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to start saving up some money and become a freaking Mug Club member, because this is ridiculous. I mean, like, they could have anyone on the, on there bashing Republicans, or, it's so trendy nowadays to hate on Trump. And I find it's fucking bullshit because, it's funny to make fun of him, but, Obama, created a whole bunch of fucking interventionist wars, killed a whole bunch of fucking people, destabilized fucking North Africa and the entire fucking continent. The fact where there's slavery in fucking Libya now, but oh, Trump bad, Orange Man bad. You know, God forbid we call out Obama for all the bullshit that he fucking did back in the day, or the Democrats, and all the bullshit race baiting that they fucking initiate and engage in, and all the fucking people that have mysteriously gone and suicided themselves or died of mysterious causes because of the fucking Clintons when they were going to testify against them. But no, Orange Man fucking bad. I'm so fucking sick of it. You know, any Americans that, you know, I don't like that have subscribed to my channel, I fucking love you guys. You guys should be fucking happy at the fact that you guys have somebody in your fucking office that's willing to clean out fucking people that are globalist scum. And yet we have up here in Trudeau, like the SNC Lavalin fucking debacle. You know, like, it's ridiculous. The guy pumps out scandals left, right, and fucking center, and yet all the soccer moms have nothing but fucking nice little things to say about them, because you know what? They're in the bathtub with their fucking little vibrating duckies just thinking about them all the time. I'm so fucking sick of the Mac Daddy fucking Justin Trudeau bullshit that goes on here. He's turned our entire country into a fucking laughingstock. He spent billions upon, what, $34 fucking billion on fucking foreign fucking aid? And like other bullshit fucking projects for people who aren't fucking Canadian citizens? And yet he has the fucking gall to say to a veteran's face that we don't have enough money for you? You know? That's some bullshit. That is some straight up fucking bullshit right there. And I'm so sick of this cultural Marxist crap that is fucking infecting everything. I don't give a shit about it. And you know what? I'm not gonna fucking watch Hollywood. I don't give a fuck about Marvel movies anymore. I don't give a fuck about DC movies anymore. You wanna know why? Because it's all cultural fucking programming, brainwashing bullshit. Not fucking worth your goddamn time, and it's not worth your kids' fucking time, because, you know, sure enough, a lot of people are gonna get pulled to these bullshit fucking movies because it's so trendy to go there and go watch some superhero movie with your fucking kid. That's about the only reason why you'd ever want to go there, in my opinion. It's just such bad fucking... It's like now we've got, like, it's a identity politics. It's like, oh, we have to, you know, give all them... Everybody who's like... who's playing the oppression Olympics. You know, we've got to give them, it's their time now. It's 2018, 2019, 2020. Social fucking justice crap everywhere. It is killing our fucking society, and I'm just fucking sick of it. I mean, I'm just some dude that's my fucking, you know, like, minding my own goddamn business, living my life. None of that shit's really gonna affect me in the long term. But it's affected the culture, and there's a certain point where you gotta realize and you gotta warn people that the well's been fucking poisoned. You know, you gotta tell the other villagers, don't drink from that shit, it's gonna fucking kill you. The only reason why I fucking do these videos every now and then, and apologies for the F-bombs, but I decided I'm not going to let the Oscars ruin a good drinking party. So, I don't know, I'm pretty much just coming up with shit. I'm playing RuneScape right now because I got a double XP weekend, so pretty much every couple loads I'm taking a sip. You know how it is. Yeah, MGD, but what can you do? But nah, it's crazy. I'm so sick of all this bullshit. And I mean, you got the whole Jesse Smollett bullshit in fucking Chicago, where he's faking hate crimes and stuff like that. I love how they try to portray... you know, like the United States as this bastion of fucking racism, when they have to, like, outsource their fucking racist hate crimes to fucking Nigerians to make it seem like they're Trump supporters. And hey, I'm not gonna say there's not no neo-Nazis in the States and stuff like that, but it's not prevailed in the society as much as the left fucking thinks it has. They're completely batshit fucking crazy. I'm pro-choice, for example, and even I have to say, New York, what the fuck are you doing legalizing infanticide? That is some fucked up shit right there. I mean, hey, I understand people, for whatever reason, you know, they always use the extreme rape, you know, cases or whatnot to, you know, for abortion and shit like that to justify it. And I mean, for me, I mean, it's not like I'm getting laid anyways. I mean, like, most bitches nowadays are fucking all liberal fucking, oh my god, he's wearing a Trump hat. Oh my god, he's wearing a Steve Crowder hat. Oh my god. You're gonna die alone with a bunch of fucking cats and multiple fucking kids from multiple fucking guys because you're a fucking moron. But I don't give a shit about that. You know what I mean? I'm at the point now where I'm crippled. My back is fucked. I'm overweight. I'm pretty outspoken and intelligent when it comes to certain things and like what's going on with society nowadays, and I don't give into that cultural Marxist bullshit, even though back in the day I did. back in the day in high school, I was a devout Marxist. You know, a lot of my friends, we actually started like a group, Students for Social Justice and stuff like that. Like, I think I've said it a couple times in videos beforehand. And yeah, we didn't really do anything aside from maybe like partake in like a protest that helped them not shut down a homeless shelter. But that was like stuff that was more for like, you know, more for like people who are disenfranchised in society and shit like that. You know, we weren't like doing the whole, you know, everyone's got to change because we have, you know, they have to fit our fucking, you know, Marxist, you know, victim narrative. None of that bullshit back in the days. We were doing it because we actually wanted to help fucking people who were, you know, who were in shitty circumstances and stuff like that. But yeah, I kind of realized that big government doesn't really fucking work. In fact, government barely fucking works. And so it's better to promote individual freedoms and libertarian kind of perspective on things, even though I'm not completely 100% on board with the libertarians. It's just, I think it's a better idea to go towards a more decentralized, localized government, because the more bureaucracy, the more bullshit, the more money gets wasted, the more we get put into fucking debt slavery. And you know, the left has absolutely no problem. They're the most fucking self-righteous pieces of shit I've ever seen. They're so disingenuous. It's not the right that's going out there. Well, maybe a few people on the right that are trying to get people shut down because they're playing a tit-for-tat thing. But we didn't start this fucking culture war, man. It was a leftist. It's a leftist hate mobs that'll go out and look for any fucking reason they can for people to be fucking perceived to be racist. You know, that's what's the bullshit about it. I mean, most people who are right-leaning or libertarian just want to be left the fuck alone to do their own goddamn business and not have to fucking have the government breathing down their fucking neck for everything they do. But yet, sure enough, we got this whole thing where we got these leftists that say, oh, we are the party that loves science. Except when it comes back to, you know, like, you know, biological gender. Oh, God forbid. You talk about the two genders, you know, biological, you know, binary and objective. And they call it Bob or whatnot. But, you know, it's oh my God, it's ridiculous. It's like, you know, we went through like thousands and thousands of years of you know, like development in the sciences, and sure enough now it's all like, oh no, there are 72 genders. We just, you know, we didn't catch on to that until this current year. That's some fucking bullshit if you tell me right there. And I mean, I don't give a shit if you're, you know, whatever you do behind closed doors, man, I don't give a shit. I'm, you know, sexual libertine that way. In fact, I probably pissed off conservatives because I believe that gays should be able to get married. I don't care about that stuff, man. You know, if anything, I think everyone should just stay single when it comes to tax purposes. Because as soon as you claim Commonwealth, which is what they call it here in Canada, or common law here in Canada, being a Commonwealth nation, or you know, as soon as you claim as a couple, or a married couple especially, you get screwed over for taxes even more. So it's like, when all that money's going towards bullshit, I can see why people don't pay their taxes. I can see why people, you know, are completely against the whole, you know, like on the basis of taxation is theft, because for a good portion of it, yes, it is. It is definitely theft. If you're not paying for the essential services that, you know, is supposed to be part of your government, and you're just making it into a giant fucking welfare state, then you don't fucking deserve to have that fucking, like, country running properly. Look at Venezuela. Look at all the countries that go full socialism. It doesn't work out too well. They got fucking buildings collapsing in fucking Cuba right now. But then you got Michael Moore with, oh, but they could buy medicine now. Yeah, except you say anything against the government and they fucking disappear your ass. What kind of fucking added cost onto the medicine there is that shit? I mean, hey, I'm not defending the by big pharma companies by any means. There's a lot of fucking skullduggery and bullshit that goes on with there. I mean, when you look at the whole fucking just, oh my God, everything from Bayer selling HIV-tainted fucking medication to, like, I mean, a lot of people don't realize this, but when they're watching their fucking TV, and I've said this many times, where they get a commercial up for, you know, half of it's like the smiling, happy family. Oh, if you take this, it may give you blah, 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 blah. And you'll feel happy and blah, 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 blah. But side effects are going to be half the rest of this goddamn commercial telling you all the fucking problems that could possibly either make your condition worse or kill you. So, you know, and we wonder. And then the next commercial, it's, have you or a loved one been hurt by this drug? Well, come and call us. And, you know, it's like, we'll give you a good settlement because of this bad drug, you know. But then as soon as you try to criticize the big pharma or the medical thing with a lot of people, they completely have this trust thing. It's like, oh no, you can't say anything bad against our scientific and medical overlords. Oh no, you can't call out the fact that they might give a shit more about the profit motive than they do the fucking people that they're selling their fucking crap to. You know, it's ridiculous. It really is. And I love how the science, you know, like, I mean, I'm not like or racist or anything like that, but I mean, there are certain identity, I won't say identity, but IQ markers anyways, that, you know, for certain types of countries in the world that don't do too well when it comes to education and living standards and stuff, and so they're at a disadvantage. And by acknowledging that, all of a sudden they're called hate facts, and I think that's pretty fucked up. Because if that's true, then it's something that we should acknowledge as truth and then try to fucking work on ways to, like, improve it so that it's not fucking detrimental to the human race as a whole, you know? Whatever happened to that kind of progressivism? No, we don't do it anymore because, you know, God forbid you say anything that's against the leftist narrative and they will eat you. They love eating their own. In fact, they'll eat their own for breakfast every fucking day if it comes down to it. Because if you don't follow the exact same fucking social justice warrior, groupthink, NPC fucking mindset as what everyone else is fucking programmed to think, then you are a threat. And I have a fucking problem with that. Because I'm eventually going to be that guy that sits out there and don't give a fuck. And, you know, probably gets arrested and thrown into a gulag because I fucking so pissed off at the fact that you can't have free speech anymore in this goddamn forsaken world. Sorry for all the swear words and the cursing, but it's ridiculous. It really is. You got fucking child sex trafficking going on in most established fucking nations run by political fucking elite classes, either on the left or right, and none of that shit gets addressed. You know, it's ridiculous. It really is. And so I'm glad Trump got elected, because he's pissed off a lot of fucking people, and he's gone after the fucking sex predators, and he's undid the fucking racist fucking laws that the Clintons put in. And you try to tell this to anybody, especially people from the States. Oh no, the Clintons love black people. Clinton was the first black president. He played the saxophone, and he really loved the people. He would never do anything like charge, you know, black people more with, you know, crack cocaine crimes than white people with white powder crimes. That's just a conspiracy theory. Snopes told me. So Snopes can never do no wrong. It's just a couple who, like, broke up because the guy was spending the fucking funds that he was getting on a fucking S&M fucking prostitute or some shit like that. And I think the brains of the operation of Snopes the entire time was the cat, but nobody ever noticed. So I really think that people should give an award to that cat for being the brains of Snopes. And all these fact-checking bullshit fucking apps that they're trying to come out with now, like NewsGuard. We guard the news so you don't get any alternative information. And that's supposed to be fucking great for people, you know, like it's not just an opinion thing, folks. It's like it's pervade, it's fucking sunk its nasty fucking tentacles into every aspect of fucking culture. Like, God forbid now you try to, you know, go into a climate science fucking field and actually try to research the real data and call out the IPCC and NOAA for fucking manipulating their fucking data many times over. Many times over. And then you talk to people about ClimateGate emails and they don't even know what the fuck it is. But yet they try to say, oh no, you know, every time there's a debate on the news, you know, they always put one guy who's against global warming and one guy who's for global warming, when technically it should be 97% of scientists that are on there that support global warming, and of 3% of people who are idiots. Like, fuck off. That whole study was invented by a fucking cartoonist hack. And even fucking climatologists now are saying that it's complete bullshit. But yet they keep peddling that 97% consensus. And, you know, they keep saying anybody who fucking criticizes, criticizes the whole global warming or the climate change thing. Oh, it's not climate change now. You know, it's like a fucking pseudoscience because, you know, you fuck up and sure enough, it's climate science. But you know, if it gets warm, it's climate change. If it gets cold now, oh, it's climate change. If Al Gore, you know, gets caught fucking man, bear, pig, oh, it's climate change. So I think it's kind of bullshit, all these assholes that go out there and say that they're all for fucking everybody else using less. The new Green Deal, we need to give up, you need to give up your combustion engine, but we're gonna still fly around in our private fucking jets all around the goddamn fucking planet and talk about how people need to use less and have less kids. That makes all the kind of fucking sense in the world. I'm so pissed off with this bullshit. I think a lot of people are too. I just had the yellow vest kind of like movement here in Canada kind of get here. It seems to be kind of moving all around the planet kind of sort of thing. We also had kind of a convoy from the east and west coast parts of Canada going to Ottawa to go protest there, and of course Scheer went up there to make himself seem like he's the you know, the shining white knight. You know, oh, we're gonna do everything we can to fix things from old, you know, mean old Trudeau, even though our government has like bought a freaking, like, we've done practically Venezuelan socialism, and yet the CBC won't call it out for what it is when we took over the fucking pipeline. You know, why is the government taking over pipelines to begin with? Yes, I do believe that Canada, being a oil-producing nation, even though it's really crappy quality oil, we should at least be able to take that out of the ground, refine it, sell it as fucking gasoline to Canadians at a reasonable price, so we don't get fucked over with this OPEC bullshit. And so when all of a sudden now Saudi Arabia is the enemy because Trump made a fucking weapons deal with Saudi Arabia. So all of a sudden now, after 30, ever since the British fucking Empire put the fucking goat fucking Saudi fucking royalty in power to oppress all the fucking people they fucking live there, you know, all of a sudden now they're the enemy? I call bullshit on that. That's a fucking joke. And I mean, why are all of a sudden now, it's like, after the Khashoggi thing? Well, I'm sorry, but Washington Post is a shitty fucking newspaper anyways. They've done nothing but fucking push wars and fucking push fucking bullshit into the fucking narrative stream and lies. I mean, I don't even know why people fucking listen to them anymore. I mean, when I have no shame if I talk to people, you know, for whatever reason, and they ask me, oh, why do you hate the mainstream media so much? Well, I'll give them a long list of reasons fucking why. If you have reasons to hate something for being disingenuous pieces of shit, then you should be able to call them out for being disingenuous as piece of shit. I mean, seriously. Oh my god. And I mean, Khashoggi, alright, yeah, it sucks. A journalist was murdered or whatnot. But they try to make him seem like he was just some innocent, he was just some wonderful, peace-loving Muslim journalist that worked for Washington Post. He never did anything wrong. He was never pictured helping fucking Al-Qaeda and the Taliban with a giant fucking RPG on his fucking shoulders. You know, they admit the fact that he's the son of a fucking, like, crazy fucking arms dealer that, like, supplied all kinds of weapons to all kinds of fucking horrible fucking regimes that murdered and fucking killed their fucking population without thinking 2 fucking seconds more than what it takes to pull that trigger and wait for the fucking recoil. Seriously, I'm so sick and tired of these fucking leftist assholes that try to make this whole virtue fucking signaling. Like, they're the arbiters of fucking all that is wonderful and just in the world. These are the same people that legalize, like make a fine for people that fucking, like, give other people fucking AIDS and shit, and fucking slap people on the fucking wrist when they're illegals that fucking crash their cars into fucking people and, like, a family of 4 because they, you know, and they're allowed to fucking go back into the, you know, they get deported and come back and do the same fucking thing. You know, I mean, there's so many multiple cases of that. Like, there's a reason why angel moms keep growing. But, you know, oh, God forbid CNN cover that fucking objectively. You know, when was the last time CNN did anything fucking objective? That's what I want to know. That's honestly what I want to fucking know. Because I'm so sick and tired of these bullshit fucking media outlets. Like, even here up in Canada, all they've been doing is parroting fucking CNN and fucking MSNBC talking points. And that's what pisses me off up here. We don't have a right-leaning fucking news organization that's mainstream. You know, we have the CRTC that'll fucking shit down your throat if you know, have too many American fucking commercials, or, you know, you don't give enough, you know, bullshit fucking ads for a mosque on the fucking prairie for CBC or some other bullshit show they're putting in there that fucking makes a fucking mockery out of you know, what it is to actually be fucking Canadian. Or, you know, like, it's ridiculous how we signed on to this fucking migrant compact that's going to kill this fucking country because they're putting so many fucking people in when we have 800,000 fucking people on waiting lists for subsidized housing as it is. I mean, you'd think the NDP would be on that, being like, well, we would like to take these people in, but if we did, it would severely impact the amount of money that we're giving already for people who are on the welfare state, or for people in subsidized housing, for people on ODSP, like myself, because my back is fucked, and there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to work a long fucking full-time job for the rest of my life at this point, even though I've been losing weight and working my ass off. You know, I get, you know, who fucking cares about that shit? Because we're going to bring in a whole shit ton of people that don't speak our fucking language, that don't fucking understand our culture, that have a completely different value system whatsoever, that end up fucking moving into big cities and then creating their own little tiny little neighborhoods inside of it because diversity. So I guess technically in that kind of perspective, you could say that we're having a kind of a multicultural thing. You know, after we fucking, you know, demonized every single fucking, you know, Catholic fucking school, or, you know, Christian or fucking Western, you know, institution that we could possibly think of. I mean, there's a reason why fucking Marxist books are being recommended highly in fucking, you know, universities and colleges and shit like that. It is a fucking global move of fucking cultural Marxist identity politics to get everyone into this whole kind of race-baited bullshit, you know, to keep people in fucking line. Oh, you can't, your opinion don't fucking matter because you're a white male. As if, like, people, okay, this is what pisses me off about the fucking left. Do you really think those, like, 3,000 to, like, 10,000 people that run the fucking world give a shit about anyone else of their own fucking race, of their own fucking... They don't give a shit. They don't give a damn. Let's say some rich fucking white guy who owns a bunch of shit. You think Jeff Bezos gives a shit about white people? He don't give a fuck about them. He don't give a fuck about you either. And that's the thing about it. When you get to a certain point where you get these elitist assholes, you know, I mean, there's a certain point. It's like, how do you weed out the fucking psychopaths from the true leaders? Because I'm not against power. I'm not against people who are able to make money. But if they're doing it unethically, you know, then you're going to have to call them out. You're going to have some sort of ways to put some sort of measures in there to stop these assholes from rising to the fucking top. But, you know, it's not going to happen. Because we have so much greed in this fucking planet. And whether you're left or right, it's, you know... They're getting their checks paid for by the same fucking multinational fucking billionaires that don't give a shit, that get these special fucking loopholes where they can control the market by getting the government to clamp down regulatory on all their competitors, but they get fucking loopholes where they get out of it scot-free. Or they can just move their country outside of the country and then not have to deal with the fucking tax laws or anything like that. There's so many ways around it so that people who have those billions and billions and billions of dollars can fucking, go around the people who are mom and pop, who are, you know, entrepreneurs, who are, you know, actually providing value in their community. And it's gotten to a point now where a lot of it's up to the consumer. If you ask people, when you raise prices and then you make it so that people have to, you know, don't have a lot of money as it is and are already having troubles trying to budget shit and trying to fucking survive, and then you give them the option of, oh, okay, well, here's like a Walmart, or are you going to pay an extra couple bucks here at another store that's maybe more localized or maybe not as subsidized heavily as what a lot of the shit is, you know, when it comes to corporations and stuff like that. And they can't compete. And that's not right. And I mean, there's a lot of people on the right. They'll be like, "Oh, well, you're just being anti-rich people." But it's not. I have no problem with people attaining wealth. I have no problem with a free market reigning and capitalism, if it's done fucking properly. If you're doing it to the point where you're not giving out socialized fucking bailouts to the banks and shit like that. If a company fails, let them fucking fail. Yeah, it's gonna hurt a lot of people, but look at all the times where you get like Ponzi schemes and hedge fund fucking managers that screw their fucking people over left, right, and center, and they get a fucking slap on the wrist or nothing at all if it's not politicized. I mean, take the Martin Shkreli, the guy who like raised the price on one of those it was like a certain kind of AIDS medication or whatnot, and he was demonized. And then when he went to Congress and said he was pleading the fifth or whatnot, he pissed them off, and then they went after him. Like, they went after him for like fraud from when he was doing like hedge fund, before, when he was making his money, before he even did this whole pharmaceutical thing, where I think it was what did he make? He ended up making his own pharmaceutical company or whatnot, and then a few years later there was a whole bunch of that stuff. But he pissed the establishment off to the fact where they were like, oh, well, we're gonna go back in time. And that's what these fucking criminals do. And that's why I'm against this technological fucking super state that we're coming out with, this spy state that watches and fucking tracks everything you fucking do. You know what I mean? A lot of people, yeah, a cell phone is handy, but I won't fucking get one. And I sound like I look like I like when I tell people that, they look at me like I'm some sort of fucking weird fucking alien from Mars. What? Because I don't want to fucking have my eyes glued to some stupid fucking little machine that tells me, oh, I can play games on here. I can play games. Look at me. I can play games. Like Alexander fucking Graham Bell invented the telephone. All right? This guy busted his balls to like run fucking like cable lines and shit like that. Back before we had all this like digital and like we could broadcast things, and he was like making that effort of trying to get people into like talking on the phone, and yet nowadays everyone's just text. I think he'd probably just like fucking be rolling in his grave. Or maybe back in the day, if you were to go there and tell him, he'd just be like, all right, I give up, humanity's doomed. Y'all can use the fucking tin can and fucking the string now if you want to talk. Like, how the fuck have we gotten to such a point where we're so fucking dependent on technological garbage? I mean, I can't really say anything. Here I am playing 4 fucking different our RuneScape clients for an online game because it's double XP weekend. And for me, that's more of a social thing because, well, I'm crippled and I live in a place that's, even though it's conservative, it has a lot of fucking scummy fucking people, and it's just not worth my time. Because a lot of people don't want to have political discussions here in the dairy capital of Ontario. No, a lot of people here just want to, say, oh, we're going to vote conservative anyways because we're religious. And hey, you know what? I respect people who have their beliefs and stuff like that. Like, I have nothing against that. But for me, I'm just like trying to find an intellectual conversation in this place where I live is... It's almost like trying to fucking get fucking blood out of a stone almost, It's ridiculous. And I don't know, man. It is crazy the amount of just brainwashing there is in people. Where you try to even offer a counter narrative, or you try to even tell people the reasons why you believe what you believe, and they either completely throw you off or try to like they get offended. And so for me, I don't get offended. I mean, I used to be on the other side of the fence, so to speak. I was all for, because back in the day when I was in high school, I would think that, like, oh, all these rich people and the whole class warfare and stuff. And I'm so sick of people that think that everything comes down to class warfare, because it's total bullshit. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of people that do take advantage of things, and there's a lot of people in high up places where they'll make their billions, and then, instead of the whole capitalist notion of, okay, well, you've made your fortunes or whatnot, well, then your offspring and your progeny, whether or not they take on that or whatnot, should technically be going out to make, a life for themselves, wealth for them, make a life for themselves, and become economically stable and all that shit, all the stuff that when it comes to being an adult, for example. But I mean, a lot of this stuff is where you're raised, where you came up, with the values that you were taught, and a lot of it comes down to personal responsibility. You know, I mean, like, yeah, sure, there's a lot of people who are really rich, like the Walmart family, for example. They don't got to worry about missing a meal, that's for sure. And yeah, there's a lot of, like, you know, wealth, injustice, and inequality in the world and stuff like that. But there's better ways of going about doing it than just saying, oh, well, because you're born this and this color, then you should have this and this fucking privileges, or this and this over other, you know, another race, or going by a pyramid hierarchy. I mean, even Nietzsche was very fearful of this, because he said back in the day, like, he was one of the biggest criticisms of kind of the cult of Christianity at the time it was back then, where you know, it was like severe dogma, where a lot of people were like, oh no, you can't say that, or else you'll get decommissioned from the church or some bullshit like that. But he also realized that if you replace it with the state, or you replace it with some other kind of empty ideology, then it's going to turn out fucking horrible. And sure enough, he went mad, and his sister took over the whole things of the, you know, the strong shall prevail and all that bullshit, and then all the fucking Nazis took over the Nietzschean philosophy, and it took a long time for people, especially in the intellectual, philosophical kind of fields, to kind of redeem Nietzsche and be like, hey, yeah, he was a very brilliant and critical mind of his day. But I mean, you know, and he did rightfully tear down a lot of the church dogma of the time, which was what was needed. But he was never in the kind of Nazi mentality that they tried to play him out as. And that's the thing, when people hijack an ideal, they take something that was originally good and turn it into some sort of horrible cacophony of fucking horrible shit. You know, it's just the path that I'm seeing the world kind of go down. And it scares the shit out of me. I mean, whatever happened to the time where we, like, even just 10 years ago, the left gave a shit about, you know, like, war, like, not going to war, you know, illegally, you know, like, interventionist wars, fucking, you know, they believed in free speech, they believed in the right to, you know, oh my God, it's just, it's so bad to see nowadays. It's gotten to such a point where it's just, I'm just waiting for someone, you know, I'm at the point now where if a civil war pops off in the States, I would not be surprised. I'm waiting for it. I think a lot of people are waiting for it. And where's the media to calling out Jesse Smollett? You know, one of the most fucking, you know, like, when you look at the polarization in the States, and one of the most worst times to pull one of these bullshit hate crimes and try to blame it on, what, in Chicago, white MAGA hat supporters and like Trump supporters at like 2 o'clock in the freaking morning that are like going out, like finding some guy that they recognize from an Empire show, like how would they even know if he's gay or who he was or what his name was? Because, you know, all y'all kinda loves watching the Empire because they love to feel like gangsters. Like, come on. Total bullshit. And then you got all these fucking politicians that are defending him to this day, even after it's all came out, because there's no truth. There's no we don't have to, like, accept the fact that we backed the wrong horse and we need to backpedal and say, oh no, it's all Trump's fault. Trump is the reason why this is going on, because of his evil racist policies. Even though you go back to the 90s and the Democratic Party sounded exactly like Trump. Hell, I think even Schumer back in 2008, or maybe even a little later than that, was advocating for a wall, was advocating for border control. Oh my God, we need to make a fucking wall up here in Canada just to stop all the fucking assholes that are coming up from fucking New York State trying to claim asylum from the evil Trump administration. Fuck off. Seriously. I am still sick of this bullshit. You know, left becomes the most fucking self-righteous, hypocritical douchebags that I could ever fucking shake a stick at. It's ridiculous. You know, I mean, they say how they're all against, you know, they're all for diversity, and they're all against, racism and stuff like that. Yet, if you're a white male, your opinion means fuck all. If you're not a white male toting the fucking social justice warrior, cultural Marxist identity politics bullshit, then you're not worth your fucking skin. You're just an evil white man. It's like, oh, gay people now are supposed to think along the same lines of what they're programmed into saying. Oh, there's 72 genders and stuff like that. My brother's gay. He saw my hat, there are only 2 genders, and fucking loved it. He's against this bullshit fucking brainwashing of, established biology that we've gone for thousands of fucking years. Ridiculous. Like, oh, no, because we were going through that, like, yeah, there used to be a time when people used to believe that the earth was flat for long periods of time. That argument. And just fuck off, buddy. There's a difference between objective fucking biology and discovering a new fucking landmass that proves that there's a spherical fucking planet or some shit. And I'm probably going to get maybe there's a few subscribers on here that subscribe to the Flat Earth Theory. And you know what, man? Believe in it all you want. I don't give a shit. But nobody's fallen off the fucking edge of the goddamn planet yet, and I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. And I mean, it's fun to do it as kind of a critical theory, kind of critical thinking experiment, but when you realize the reality of the situation, it's not really that plausible, because, well, we haven't had people that have, came back with oh my god, there's a giant fucking falls that drops off into nothing. We don't know anything about it. We can't explore that, when we've been exploring pretty much a lot of stuff. But, I mean, you can talk about the whole, digital rendering of many of the NASA pictures of the planet Earth that are probably not, completely accurate. But I'll be honest with you, I do believe we went to the moon, even though we may not have. I mean, there's a laser on the moon, apparently, that we can measure now, and all that stuff. But I just want to see them, actually, I mean, I don't mean to be critical of, what we did as a human race, but I just, out of all of the stuff that we have on the planet for, advanced technology now, can we not just get, a somewhat detailed picture of the rover on the planet or whatnot? I that would just put my mind to rest, that's all. I'm just saying, after, you had the mainstream media, put us into 2 illegal fucking wars in Iraq for no fucking reason whatsoever, the incubator babies, oh, they're dropping the incubator babies on the ground. Old fucking George Bush Sr. there for you. I'm glad that cocksucker's fucking dead. That little fucking creepoid fucking CIA tool that caused more fucking people to die in third world fucking nations than George Bush or any other fucking president almost combined. Come fucking on. Seriously. I'm so glad that he's dead. And I know it probably makes me a horrible human being for saying that, but I honestly don't give a shit what you think, so. Oh my god, I love you guys. Thank you for subscribing. My 42-minute long rant so far. But, it's crazy. It seriously is. It's, you had George Bush Sr. going in there under the incubator, baby false flag, where they had the fucking ambassador's daughter that went up there and gave the fake, oh, they came in, the soldiers, and they took the babies, and they ripped them out of the incubator, and they took the incubators and left the babies on the floor. Or how about that fucking weapons of mass destruction there, George Bush Jr., huh? How about that little fucking, little vial of anthrax that they had, fucking Colin Powell trying to convince everyone that, Iraq was this, mastermind of fucking biological weapons, and they're gonna attack the US and Canada and all the Western nations if they invaded all at once. That big fucking thing that turned out into a giant hoax. Or how about the mainstream media's wonderful, new, lovely 2-year Russian investigation hoax? Huh? Where's that collusion? I don't see any collusion. They're not reporting on any collusion. They're getting everyone from, dropping a fucking, a most ridiculous fucking bullshit process crimes where if they were to turn the tables on the Clintons or the DNC, they'd find nothing but a fucking rat hole. Why is all of a sudden there's this, demonization of anybody who tried to, especially in the alternative media, that tried to contact Julian Assange when he was doing that whole, like, am I gonna release the papers or am I not? Am I gonna release the papers or I'm not? I got all the info on your deep state, but I'm keeping it myself because I'm Julian Assange. I'll go on fucking interviews with, like, mainstream media outlets teasing the fact that I have this information, And I mean, I do believe that he should, probably get pardoned. It's not like he was working with the Russians. There's absolutely no proof with it. And, I love how the media focuses on the fact that he leaked the information and, like, not about all of the, like, many sketchy fucking crimes that were, like, admitted by the DNC's members' own emails through the actual emails that were leaked. So it's like, no, we're going to go after people for leaking it, but we're not going to go after the people who are clearly doing criminal shit that were in those leaked documents. Because the mainstream media, we don't want you to think individually. No, you have to think groupthink. You have to believe what Chris Cuomo says, because if you look at or read the WikiLeaks emails, then, big government's not going to like that. They're going to send one of their giant federal employees, their FBI, after you because it's illegal. You can't look into the truth. You have to believe our bullshit mainstream media narrative 24/7. The most crusted name in news. So, I mean, here I am, ranting, with the aid of a little bit of alcohol. And I'm just kind of to the point where I'm just sick of all the bullshit. I'm not going to watch Captain Marvel. I'm not even going to watch the last fucking Avengers movie. I don't give a shit. I like watching The Quartering. I like watching Geeks and Gamers. I like watching how the culture war is going on the kind of the entertainment kind of side of things. But I'm at the point now where I've realized what this is. This is a war on many different fucking fronts, and I'm not going to put up with the bullshit. Why am I going to give Disney any more fucking money? I'm at the point now where I'm actually looking up brand, like, if I'm going to buy something, I look up the brand, I look up where it comes from, and I look at the people, the companies that own it, and the multinational fucking connections that it has. And if there's people I don't like or people I don't support, I don't buy the fucking product. It's that fucking simple. That's why I don't really buy a fucking cell phone, even though it's kind of hard, people do have that one point when you're thinking about when you're talking to people who do have cell phones. It's like everything that's, technical now when it comes to computers or devices or phones, stuff like that. Even cameras is mostly, you're going to get one element or another. No matter what you try to buy, it's usually made over in a kind of a cheap hellhole third world fucking nation, or a I don't know. I mean, China technically isn't a third world nation, but I would not want to live there. They got this whole crazy social credit score they're trying to fucking, which I think Alex Jones is right. I mean, the guy's been right about fucking them being able to spy on you through your fucking camera and your fucking laptop. He said that, 15 fucking years ago? Like, he came out with a little, like, in some of the fucking, you get, like, the video boxes from whatever place, depending on where you're from on the planet. You get these boxes where the digital boxes and stuff like that. And they have stuff in there that fucking records and listens and spies and transmits information and data for market research. All the terms and services that people never fucking read when they sign up usually has some sort of hidden clause in there saying that they're going to sell your fucking data or give out all of the information of your personal preferences and stuff like that to market research. And yeah, it kind of sounds innocent enough at first, but we're going to be putting in this 5G system. We're going to be putting everything, when you look at like what they want to do for the 2030 agenda, they want to put everything into a technical grid that monitors every fucking decision and every move you make so that there's no privacy. And for me, I do believe that privacy is something that's good, because, I mean, if you have let's say if you're critical of government. You're critical of authority, which a lot of people should be. Like, I think more people in the public should be more critical of the shit that's going down, the money that's being stolen from them, and where that's being, spent on, and how that's being put into place, and the people who are, implementing that, and what their fucking agenda is behind it, because that's the only way you're gonna fucking find out what people are doing. I mean, if you are able to find out what the marketer is goal is to begin with, when he's trying to come up to your door and sell you stuff, you know exactly what that person is selling. You know whether or not that quality of the quality of that product is good enough for you to put your money into it. If you know that it's a shitty product, if you know it's a company that's doing it just for the profit motive, that are either, or maybe they're involved in some shady shit that you don't want to fucking partake in and don't want to fucking support, then you have that power as a consumer to say, fuck you, I'm going somewhere else. But not anymore. It's getting narrow and narrow and narrow for the decisions that we have in the economic market. It's getting to the point now where if you have those kind of not mainstream media opinions on how fucking shit goes down on the planet, then you risk not only being ostracized, orally, but you have a possibility of getting completely banned off of a platform that you may make your money off of. For example, you may not be able to use a bank because someone said, oh, you said something that hurt someone's fifi somewhere, and so you can't, even operate. Like, how is this not comparable? And I don't mean to invoke old Goodwin's fucking law here, but it's getting to the point now where, they keep telling how Trump and how the conservatives and the libertarians are all fucking Nazis, when we're not the ones that are trying to silence people and get them fucking put into electronic gulags for their fucking opinions on shit. It's ridiculous. I mean, I am the kind of person who, if I do see any kind of, conservative or right-wing kind of, philosophy or government or political group or whatever's in power that starts going towards the censorship, like, I mean, I was against George Bush when he put in the Patriot Act and shit like that. That was a very Orwellian move. And I mean, back in high school, we used to go protest and stuff like that for the anti-war movement. But I mean, that stopped as soon as Obama got in, because everyone was like, oh, Obama's going to do things differently. No, he didn't. Didn't do a fucking thing different. In fact, went worse. Like, he went and prosecuted whistleblowers and journalists to such an extent where it made George Bush seem like a fucking Boy Scout. He not only extended the Patriot Act, but put in the NDAA, where they could take you for any reason, any part of the fucking world that has an extradite fucking treaty with the U.S., and disappear you. And not have to give you fucking passe comments, not even giving you the basic fucking legal rights as a human fucking being you have. But then, oh, God forbid Trump doesn't fucking, God forbid, Trump, processes people at the border or whatnot. Something that the fucking conservatives, the Republicans and the Democrats have been doing for what, like 20, 30 fucking years now? The same policies that they're criticizing Trump under are the same policies that the fucking Clintons and Obamas and, even going before that to, like, what the fucking, going back as far as what, the Carter administration, was it? Or I can't fucking believe this shit. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And I love how the outrage mob of everything now, where it's if people don't agree with you, then you're automatically branded a racist. Oh, you're so insensitive. Oh, you don't want these poor children coming over. Oh no, you're so evil. People are dying because of these walls. It's like, yeah, people are dying because they're coming over with they're paying coyotes that are ending up like 80% of women that are coming over. Like 80% of women? That's a large fucking high number that are getting raped coming over the border. And the thing is, it's not just Mexicans. It's not just people from Latin countries. Like, they've gamed the system to the point where a lot of people will come into the country and then, from different countries and then stay there illegally when it comes to the U.S. and all that shit. So it's kind of, it's like, how do you stop it, really? At this point, when you have the UN, the UN, which was supposed to be, there to stop people from going to war with each other, back when remember that Cold War thing that almost, fucking destroyed the entire fucking planet? Well, the UN thought it was such a great idea that they won another war with Russia. We're in the Cold War 2.0 because UN is wonderful. And you try to tell this to fucking people and fucking their brainwashed mentality in fucking colleges and universities. Do you think they realize that the UN is just a fucking, a slush fund for pimps? No. No, they don't. They think the UN is the greatest, the most noble, the highest aspirations of mankind, where we solve poverty, where we end disease, and we stop countries from going to war with each other. Well, read Confessions of an Economic fucking Hitman by John Perkins, and wake the fuck up, because the IMF, the World Bank, the UN, NATO have done nothing but put in fucking puppet dictators and bankrupt their country by giving them fucking loans at high interest rates that they can't fucking pay back and end up getting put into these slave fucking debt to, the UN, and they lose their assets. They, may get some sort of, betterment of their society. They may get a little bit more of investment. Like, everyone's saying, oh, China's so wonderful for investing in Africa. No, they're doing the exact same thing as the IMF and the World Bank and the BRICS Bank. It's, oh my God, it's so stupid, because they're still indebted to them. And the resources that are produced from that country are not going back to those people. And that's the fucking truth. And that's why the UN is just a total waste of fucking time, money, and should be disbanded. I'm so sick of them. Like, unless they go back to start, trying to prevent fucking wars and trying to, go back to, making a serious effort to, reduce diseases and reduce poverty and stuff like that, they should be disbanded, because they're fucking useless. How many times has there been in the news, people that are coming from the Congo that bring their fucking slaves with them to the UN fucking meetings in New York and shit like that? Like, it's disgusting how we fucking allow that shit to go on, how we turn a blind eye to it, and how our media doesn't fucking report on the fucking, it's funny. Here in Canada, they got that Alex Bissonnette guy, and we never really found out the exact details of things, because they kept it in such a big hush-hush, oh, he's such a big white supremacist thing, even though there's people saying apparently there's some connections where he might have actually been romantically involved. And if you look at his, if you really investigate into it, he wasn't a right-wing Trump supporter. He was actually a left fucking leaning environmentalist, one of those people that believe that the technocracy will fucking save us, like a lot of people who I talk to in fucking places where I go debate with. They're like, oh, the technocracy can do no wrong because it is perfect, and it is outside of the realm of left-right paradigms. Oh, because we just put in a bunch of numbers and automatically the computer will determine what is most best for humanity to survive in the long run. Oh, total bullshit. How do you think, look at the technocracy in Silicon Valley is so left fucking leaning now. It's to the point where they got their little trust and safety councils, and they're going by what the Southern Poverty Law Center fucking says. Oh, weren't they the same people that defended the fucking, the KKK back in the days? Morris Dees or some shit like that, I think it was the name of the fucking lawyer. Come on. These are the same people that would sell out their own fucking people, their own kind of, sell out anyone for the highest bidder. They don't give a shit as long as the money's rolling in. And yet they're the arbiters of real news opposed to fake news. I love Trump. I fucking love everything that he said against the fake news, because they are fake fucking news. If they, the news would have been able to completely own Trump if they just would have had this thing called fucking humility. Humility. Because they were so against Trump that to the point where he can't even feed a fucking fish, a bunch of fucking goldfish in fucking Japan, without them turning it into some sort of fucking bullshit fucking thing about him being like, oh, I'm in America, I'm going to dump the entire thing into the fish thing. No. Or where you threw the hat out to that one kid or whatnot, and they tried to say, oh my God, look at this guy. He just threw the hat up in the air and was fuck you, kid, trying to get a hat from a Trump still. I'm too bad for you. Look at me, CNN's gonna report on this. You're come fucking on. It was total bullshit. He was tossing it back to him. They completely turned it into a fun. Every fucking thing he does. And if they would just report on the shitty things he did, as being oh, well, this is a slippery slope, which is what the media's fucking job is supposed to be. They're supposed to be somewhat objective. There was none of this criticism of George Bush. There was no do we really know whether or not we have mass weapons of mass destruction in Iraq? No, fuck Fox News is right on that shit. Fucking all the Democrats are on that shit. Even though, you know, there's a few people that said, oh, well, back in the war in Iraq, I was against it. Even though most of these people that said they were against it, the Democrats, they voted for it. Just like, you know, a lot of the conservatives and the liberals here in Canada that say that they're against foreign intervention had absolutely no problem fucking airstriking Syria and Libya and turning that into a fucking, you know, ISIS and Al-Qaeda or Al-Shabaab or whatever fucking CIA fucking name change they're going to come up with next. It's so ridiculous. I'm so sick of it. And, yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've done a video. I kind of got a little triggered, and a little bit of spirits in me. So I apologize for the swearing. It's just kind of pissed off because, you know, I was looking forward to a good drinking game with Louder with Crowder, and watching a bunch of Hollywood fucking elitists that are complete hypocrites make an ass of themselves, which they kind of did, which I got to see for about 5 minutes, but then they cut the feed because Disney is fucking evil, and Mickey Mouse, we can't have anyone listening to alternative views, we can't have them making fun of Hollywood now, we'll get them, Viva la Hitler! Fucking A, man. I am so sick of these fucking corporations that are cracking down. Ryan Johnson, he can do no wrong. Like, fuck off. I'm so sick of it. But anyways, that's it. Hopefully I'll get my channel banned, or at least a strike. I'm kind of like, come on, YouTube. You guys are Orwellian. You're going after the big hitters. Here I am throwing some stones at you, you know, from my tiny little tiki hut somewhere. Come and squash me. Let's do it. Come on, you fucking pussies. Because when the fucking shit hits the fucking fan, you fuckers are gonna be the ones that be fucking hunted down. And that me, I'm not saying I'm threatening or any of that shit, and I'm not gonna be the one to do it. I'm just saying it's gonna fucking happen. You know, you got these Antifa fucking, like, spaghetti string fucking soy boys that want to change the fucking planet, even though they've never had a fucking real job or never fucking actually had to, you know, do something or have any responsibility in their whole fucking life. You know, they're the ones that are gonna, you know, be the arbiters. They're the ones that are gonna come on top of the road warrior fucking, you know, civilization. You know, they're the ones that are gonna be like, just walk away. Just walk away. No, they're not going to be those people. They're going to be the little fucking pricks that get picked off from 150 yards from somebody that knows how to fucking shoot. Has probably got a Trump hat on. I'm just saying, you know? These people are fucking idiots, and I'm so sick of these Jesse Smollets. I'm so sick of these fucking liberals and people on the left that are defending these hate crime fuckers, the most racist pieces of shit that you can ever fucking think of. And it's like you try to watch comedy now, you can't do it because it's all fucking, all these leftist fucking pussies that you know, they go, oh, because white people, you know how white people are, oh, I'm Asian because you know how Asian people are, oh, Indian, because you know how Indian people are. It's like, fuck off, man. Just yeah, it's funny, it's cool, yeah, it's like, huh, yeah, it's kind of true, but it's bullshit. You're playing it safe. You don't have any real fucking things to say. You don't have any actual critical critiques of, like, society that's gonna, you know, have some sort of, like, truth in there that people, you know, maybe a few things when it comes to relationships and stuff with comedians nowadays, because that's generic shit. That's stuff we all gotta deal with. That's stuff we can all laugh at. And I'm all for that kind of humor, you know? I mean, I'm actually kind of, like, liking more Owen Benjamin. You know, I'm kind of liking the ones that call out the fucked up, you know, aspects of culture out there. You know, I like it when people call out fucking Muhammad for being a fucking pedophile, for marrying a 6-year-old and fucking her when she's 9 years old, because pedophilia is fucking gross, and people who do that shit should be taken out into the fucking street and put a bullet in the fucking back of the head. So fucking strike me there, YouTube, you pieces of shit fucking cowards, because I don't give a fuck about what I'm saying here. I am telling you the goddamn fucking truth about how I feel. Fuck you, Trudeau. Fuck your bullshit fucking C-18 fucking bills. Fuck your C-16 bills. Fuck your all bullshit cultural Marxist agenda. And fuck your $500 million that you gave to the fucking mainstream media to cover up your bullshit. You sackless piece of fucking shit, filth, cunt. Piece of shit fucking soy socks. I'm going to stop here because this is me just ranting. But anyways, I'm going to talk to you guys later. Have a good night, and hopefully this makes up for the last like few months where I've been kind of more focusing on trying to lose weight and not be such a fat fuck. So anyways, have a good night, guys, and peace out.